Endymion recently put out an amazing video where he had insiders from both Ubisoft and Sony reach out to him to discuss the state of, well, mostly Ubisoft, but he dropped some tidbits about the state of Ghost of Yotei. Now, that really interests me, but on topic, one of the big claims was that Ubisoft might go bankrupt. And the question is there any proof of that? Well, there actually is proof. Now, what I'm about to show you is a very obvious attempt by Ubisoft to hide the fact that they post loss this year. This comes from May because their fiscal year ends in either April or mid-May. It was published on May 15th. And this is their 2023 to 2024 earnings figures. Now, note here it says they made 401 million euros. Now, note right here where it says IFRS operating income. Now, IFRS is a accounting standard. They essentially make sure that you can't hide the fact that you're losing money. Everything is regulated on how you can count what and what you have to count when. Famously, because in America we use GAAP, EA claimed they were making a huge profit, and then when they had to apply some international standard, they were over 200 million in the hole. So these standards are pretty important, and you can read non-IFRS as we made it the fuck up. Let's go down here. Keep in mind those figures. Keep in mind those figures. Because here again, they're going to claim that they made 401.4 million euros. And here they're going to say they made 313.6 when you apply the IFRS standard. But somehow, their non-IFRS net cash/debt position grew. They made a profit of 401.4 million euros, according to their word. And then they have more debt than they did the last year. Weird, huh? Oh, it gets better. It gets so much better. Now here we hit the IFRS section. As you can see, they claim they made 313.6. You can see the breakdown of all their operations here. But then it says net financial income, negative 58.9 million euros. Consolidated net income, 157.9. Okay, so we're now down from the reported 313.6 to 157.9. Okay. So we keep going down. Now here we can see their assets and their liabilities. Now notice how their assets equal their liabilities. Yeah. Every year, somehow, they have the exact same amount of assets as they have liabilities. What are the odds? Oh, but it gets better. They made a profit, and yet their debt/liabilities grew. How do you turn a profit, but somehow now owe more money? Make that make sense. Then we get down here to the IFRS net cash position. And now somehow they have less money than they did the year before. They have 1.304 billion in debt, in the negative, from last year's negative 971 million euros. Yeah, so they're growing in debt, they're having less money, but somehow they turned a profit. And here you can see in their own financial accounting standards, same information, except for they are less in the hole. What Ubisoft is called is a zombie corporation. Zombie corporations need debt to survive. If the investors / banks stop lending money to Ubisoft, Ubisoft goes bankrupt tomorrow, or whenever the cash they have on hand runs out. Ubisoft, by all appearances, would not survive an audit. This financial statement is really suspicious. And if Ubisoft was audited, I deeply believe we would find out that their assets are nowhere near their liabilities, and they've probably lost even more money. Because you can see right here, they're saying their net cash position is lower, so they've lost money. Because you can't have a lower cash position while making money. But, and we scroll all the way back to the beginning of this, they said they made money. So how do you make money, but then have more debt? Because that's in the negative. That's debt. So yeah, Ubisoft is on the cusp of going bankrupt. And they're not the only one. So when they go bankrupt, a lot of investors and a lot of banks are going to pull out of the game industry. They're going to look at these other companies like Take-Two, which posted over $1 billion loss this year, and be like, yo, you guys have no path to profit. You're bloated with this DEI nonsense. You have all these employees that can't do their job, and you're making less money while spending more money. Ubisoft going bankrupt is going to have a cascade effect on the industry, and it's going to be glorious to watch. But don't worry about the good devs. Most of them don't work at these AAA companies anymore. Thanks to digital distribution, they're happily working at smaller companies on projects they're actually passionate about. Or at least with people they don't hate seeing every day. I mean, win's a win. Am I right, guys? That's all there's to say about this. Hit the like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. I am very close to having the required amount of hours watched. And then all that's left is to get the subscriber count. And I will be in the advertisement program. So you guys really help out. I'd like to thank you all for that. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.